evolutionary shifts. So this is first and foremost for the amazing Patreon community. We're doing it live for the patrons and then everybody else. So hopefully we'll get this out around the time the eclipse is going, but welcome to the Patreons. Happy to be here with everybody. Divine guidance and love and clarity is the intention. These readings, every reading I put out, that's always the intention. Divine guidance and love and clarity for all of us. That we can be ushered into greater love, all to love, more love in the world, greater compassion, empathy, via the self-awareness, knowing of the self, and finding and attuning ourselves to that alignment to our own divinity. I just hear it, divine guidance, love and clarity coming through for the collective, for this Libra solar eclipse, October 2nd, 2024. See judgment right in the middle. Ooh, things that we've been maybe kind of hiding or keeping secret, things that we've been working on behind the scenes, ways we've been trying to get stable and on top of things. The kind of judgment next to the magician reverse are like the evolution of disempowered magicians, the evolution and or liberation from delusions, from illusions, right? Ways in which we're not actually empowered, but we might be offering the illusions that make us think we're empowered, that kind of stuff. Magic, but the shadow aspect of magic, right? So judgment is liberation from that. Ooh, baby, strong reading here. This is the devil energy, Capricorn, right? Judgment, freedom break from bigger structures as well. That feels like the devil, aspects of patriarchy and capitalism and judgment call, right? Like bigger structures are going to be a crumbling down. That will have a ripple effect, of course, in the entire global structure. Not via fear. That again, this is part of the ushering of through the ages, sages and seers and prophets of ushering in the wisdom of grace and love, right? So that love is coming into the field. There's a deliverance here. This is like quite profound as far as the revelatory, I guess, downloads, epiphany moments that can be happening. I'm seeing such a profound, like a waveform, like a, like a ripple out. That can actually be waves. That can actually be more natural disasters, water disruptions, things like that. There's pulling back and waiting as well, especially like this week, this eclipse week is a pullback and waiting. So we're not moving forward on new ideas. We're not probably feeling guided to move forward on new ideas. It's like stay put, stay grounded, let the heavens open as such with regards to that judgment. Let the devil reveal him, herself, itself. Let that devil energy just reveal itself. See for what it is. There's, again, a pulling in, a feeling quiet. Not necessarily talking a lot, not necessarily sharing ideas, not necessarily telling people where we're going or what we're doing. Something about just being on top of our own lives, right? Our own pentacle, our own energies, our own words. It's like until we get that inspired idea, we're not going to move on anything just yet because there's a judgment. There's something kind of out of our control with judgment, the devil. The judgment is like just divine angelic forces coming in as far as liberating aspects of self, communities, people, but via possibly a revelation and revealing of darker truths. The devil energy being revealed, revealing itself, right? So we can see the bondage, we can see those things more clearly for what they are. That seeing the truth more clearly, even the darkness, can be liberating. And then there's like a biofeedback and or backlash that we retreat and just be mindful to not be going into the fear and not feeling like we have to rush into anything. And then there will be movement. And that's like actual movement for some of you. Deeper stillness and reflectivity that come through a lot of the collective readings for October, as, or pardon me, like the all signs, the 12 signs that are out now. So that deeper reflectivity, when you know, then there's the an action orientation, there's the desire to move forward. For some of you, there's a move. I always get uprooting ourselves with Four of Wands reverse, uprooting ourselves to, sometimes it's like we have to just uproot ourselves to be in a different place to then get the ideas, meet the people, and do all the things that we then want to do and are inspired to do. But until we know, we're just going to sit on it. We're going to reflect on it. We're going to allow, there's all the fours, you guys. There's all the fours. So these are foundational pillars being set. For some, there's a move on the horizon. Bearing in mind, this is a special kind of weekly reading because it's an eclipse reading. So this could be the next 4 months, 6 months of a timeline that what we're sitting on right now is like, it's not this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. We're reflecting on what's going on in our lives, waiting for more of a divine inspiration, waiting, sort of sitting with it and allowing that divine inspiration to really come through so that we can see things for what they are and make appropriate decisions. For some of us, it's moving ourselves away from old pillars, old situations, things that don't feel good to us anymore. That can be energetic as well, of course. That can be our belief systems, that can be our spiritual connection and practices, but that can be very in situ. That can be people, places, and things, uprooting ourselves, moving our home to another destination. When we feel inspired to take action and move toward that thing, we will. Know that. Get, like, there's a sense of the shift, as it were, these aspects and layers of spiritual awakening in the human form, that are sort of stages and layers, as it were, that as we kind of embody more of ourselves, as we move through the emotions, that we just get better at being in a state of reflection, not judgment, not resistance, like different words that create maybe tension. Just being able to sit with wherever we are and be totally neutral and okay about it. Like that's usually developed through polarity, through contrast. And so we're just better at holding space for ourselves in the knowing of all these different cycles, manipulations, things we've been through, different energetic dynamics that truly do, through the experience, through walking through the experience, they end up liberating us to make choices that in the moment feel right and are good, and they move us, right? They move us into different realms. They move us into different sort of constellations of people. There's just a relinquishing of control via this revelatory insight or experience or news that allows us to see the darkness and or the devil for what it is, and liberate ourselves from it where it's warranted, where it's necessary, and know that you're grounded in so doing. And then moving toward lighter, greener pastures, I'm hearing, and or just feeling more inspired, feeling lighter, feeling like there's more action in your field that feels good, that's gonna move you, maybe even uproot you. Okie dokie. So I'm moving to the next deck. I've done a little bit of a switch up with the decks. I tend to do that very intuitively, but I recognize that it's often seasonal. We've just had another change of the season. A few of the decks got switched around. It's very, again, intuitive, energetic, working with these things, these cards that deliver messages through a channel. Myself. Divine guidance, loving clarity here. Ooh, I just got like a rush of, yeah, baby. Just got a rush of like, whoa, something's coming through. And it's a beautiful. Okay, it's very autonomous. This is about self and a dissolution of illusions of grandeur, but also illusions around love, romance, and kind of connection on that level. The lovers, like being intimate, romantic, that kind of a romantic relationship, but that is delusional. There's so much nuance to this stuff and how we feel into it and how we connect to it. But again, certainly from the ultra perspective as well, there's a lot of illusions, certainly propagated via Hollywood and such things, as one example, and then generational and societal and what have you. But these sort of illusions around what these intimate relations are this is reverse with all these fours and reflection and stabilizing ourselves. But this is a singular energy. One person's on top of it. This is sort of self-sustainable energy, keeping things to ourselves, being on top of it, getting clear of what we want, desire, what we're projecting into the field, what the higher call is as well, right? Like aligning ourselves to prepare for battle, maybe prepare for movement, right? For stables down, we're uprooting these roots, these energetic roots. So this is where it could be very much like in your awareness. There's belief system shapeshifting. There's aspects of self that you're uprooting to inspire you and move you forward. But with the Four of Pentacles, to me, it's a very grounded, practical approach. You're not making any impulsive decisions. Because you've dealt with Devil, Magician reverse, Six of Sword reverse, like aspects that block you, sabotage you, being deceived, magic illusions. And for some of us, this is very much connected to the deceptive nature of some of the kind of ideations around romantic relationships, specifically love, romance. I mean, to me personally, it's really about the, healing these core wounds, healing the mother-father aspects, and understanding that personally, but familially and collectively and generationally, and then absolving ourselves of those triggers, attachments. And again, I think it comes in stages. I think we continue to embody greater love and compassion for ourselves, and then that extends into our relationships in our world. And it's like a fucking huge process, and you just kind of got to go through it. And then you come out the other side. Hopefully with this is moving us to lightness, not necessarily like deeper roots. The rooting has been happening through the judgment. It's time to kind of be liberated via divine cosmic intervention, other forces, to see the darkness clearly, to see our old illusions. Because so with that energy coming in, you're looking really supported with like, I'm gonna move here, I'm gonna learn this new thing. Knight of Swords, I just got that through. Like that could be, I'm gonna learn, I want to do a new course, I want to study this thing, right? And this new, lighter, happier energy is definitely coming through. Nine of Coins with the Nine of Cups. So having the courage to dissolve some of our illusions, aka maybe you could call it doing some heavy duty shadow work, and being practical moving forward, not being impulsive, not going back into like being swept into sort of different illusions or magic, right? In that regard, knowing self, coming really for Pentacle, really into your own personal integrity with what is all around you, harmonizing it, dissolving the illusions, letting yourself be excited and moving forward, and maybe considering moving or considering doing something a little different with your creative stuff. And then this is the energy, this is the big energies coming through. Again, maybe in the next 4 to 6 months. But Nine of Cups, wishes fulfillment. For some of you, the wishes fulfillment is clearly financial freedom. Financial freedom, my lovers. Go for it. Go for it. It's what we like. We don't really mind. Oh, look, the Tree of Life is underneath. That's a special card to be witnessing. So yeah, for a lot of you, it's going to feel probably very miraculous, very divinely guided, like and again, that Uranus energy is very present. So things that are a little unexpected, but this reading, the unexpected energy is looking held. Like it, it's a big good energies coming in. Nine of Cups upright. Nine of Coins upright. This is woo, some good stuff coming in that you can celebrate, that you can enjoy, that's helping you hold higher manifestations that you've been kind of digging into. Four of Pentacles, you know, really working on focusing on investing properly, investing your energies all around properly, hence dissolving certain illusions, committing to certain integral aspects, committing to certain foundations, committing to letting go of things that don't work for you, letting go of things that don't feel inspired to you. Basically just like knowing yourself better and having that liberation through self-awareness. In the Judgment card, seeing the devil for what it is. Totally seeing the devil in our own projections, our own this is just so like, yeah, being open to receive the guidance. These are, you know, new awarenesses being born all the time, always shifting, always morphing, always changing. These are definitely significant release points, personally, collectively, our own shadow, and then how that expresses itself and relates itself to us in our three-dimensional relationships, and then the broader collective energy of old political, like old political structures, snake-like deception through the veil of a mask, right? So a lot of our political structures are based in illusion. So what we're seeing is not actually what's going on behind the scenes. There's deception, there's trickery, there's snake-like. I'll show you this card. The clown. It's almost like a clown mask. He, ha ha ha, behind being manipulated supreme. This is part of the overall, like, you know, the meek shall inherit the earth. These greater judgment aspects coming via, you could say, Christ consciousness, but, or love, or empathy, compassion, those energetics coming through the field of humanity, are breaking us free from the illusions of the devil, which again, we can we can personalize these teachings in our own personal reality, not to project that shadow onto other, but to recognize we are all teaching one another via the experience. You could say contracts or karmic contracts, whatever. Those are just energetics, right? Tension that we feel, that we, through the light of our awareness, can harmonize and heal through. And that's a kind of unique process, I'd say. And we have collective words like the shadow. I call them emotional storms on a very personal level, where you just get triggered, hold space for the trigger, and then observe, you know, be mindful, watch what's going on inside you without just attacking the external world, which we all do, right? It's just, I think, part of how we learn. So there's a rebalancing with Libra energy here, and there's hence part of the commitment to our deeper spiritual practices, or just the authentic spiritual practices that come through us. That Libra energy is, to me, that judgment, divine reordering and rebalancing of the scales, inner, outer. There's the inner world that's been gestating and seeding and creating, again, in our lifetime, but through the generations, is making its way into greater manifest reality. 9 of Cups, 9 of Coins, in a greater joyful benevolence through integrity and wisdom and relinquishing of old shadows, illusions, love and politic, relationship delusions, and political delusions, which is part of how we organize ourselves on the planet, right? So that's why it's important that these shadows are coming down, because it's like the central organizational, I'm thinking of a computer system, is like, it's kind of all fried, but because of the cosmic infinite nature of creation, there's simultaneously other computer systems already like well underway. And there's a kind of, people talk about bifurcation, or just an aspect of knowing of multiple timelines, that just infinite timelines that any of us could be kind of like moving through into. There's a generated focus that we're all kind of honing and harmonizing. This is all very spiritual, but we recognize through the shift we're more spiritual than we are in these physical vessels. But the more spiritual we can bring into the physical vessel, the greater kind of aliveness we can have in a lifetime here, in a lifespan that we choose to walk. It's, you know, in the more knowingness, and we offer that grace, we extend that grace and compassion to the best of our ability, you know, to self and other, always, in a sense, right? And knowing of that, why would we choose the other with greater awareness? Unless you really, we want to stay in pain and grief and sorrow and mask, and it's exhausting. That's that's another thing too, really, with greater spirit, that just really does become intolerable and exhausting to align with that. This is too potent. The fire that burns the shadows away, right? It's too potent to deny. Let it happen. Be reborn. This is innocence. This is peace. You know, peace and innocence, and this is also rising phoenix energy. Let it happen. You know, like I really kind of feel this, like it's all happening to us and in us, and we only have to hold that knowing, sense of self, truth. Ooh, nice. I'm gonna read for this card. Death. Yeah, that's we know that. Lots of aspects of self dying. But I'm gonna look at the Manipura. It's new to me. I've never seen it in this deck, so I'm happy to dig into the actual solar plexus chakra. Wow. With the rising phoenix, some power rising up here for show. Manipura in the upright. You have come to a place where you know exactly who you are. Gone are the days of confusion and blurred lines between your truth and the expectations of others. You have grounded into your essence and built the foundation of your empowered self. You have had to let go of many friendships and relationships that were no longer serving you to get to where you are, and it was well worth it. Now is your time to really go after what you want in life. What do you care about? What lights you up? How do you want to serve? Meditate on these questions and take action on what comes up. Yeah. What potente, el potente. But really beautiful, like some power striking coming online. And I will have a look at that. Niyama is self-study, see, self-reflection. We were each born with a book of infinite wisdom, stories, inventions, and emotions. This book is our own consciousness. This is making me think of language like Akashic record. You know, the totality of our knowingness and beingness through the infinite just connection that we are, and that's also in essence our access point to the Akash or Akashic records. If we take the path to truly studying the self, we will never become bored with our findings. It's true. It's like there's so much juicy intrigue in there. Ooh. So we will never become bored with our findings. Instead of trying to acquire more information, take the focus inward. There are cosmoses in your consciousness you have yet to venture into that have more beauty than any artwork, more mystery than your favorite thriller, more magnificence than all earthly creations. However, the passport required to reach these vistas is stillness. Through withdrawing from external stimuli, you can move into the true stimuli, the world inside and beyond you. Holla is true. I've been having a memory from childhood coming through a lot of a field, just playing, like possibly alone, but I think there were other children around. I was really young, like pre 5 years old. And the memory is like, you know, one of those that's just imprinted, but I was like looking through like a bush. We were playing or something, and I looked through the bush and the sunshine, and it was like a wheat field or something like that, but it was all golden, and the way the sun like hit again, the the blue sky and the sun hitting up against the golden wheats, and like it was enchantment, like as in I can feel it, I can see it. I get that kind of like looking at sunsets and stuff like that, but like it's this sort of like invitation. It's this an enchantment with just like what we're seeing and experiencing here, which from the point of attraction of an innocent child, it is coming from stillness. Hence, things like meditation, because we get all clustery, like traumatized often, a lot here and generationally. So, working those traumas out of our beingness through self-awareness to remember, as in the innocence, and access the awe and the presence, serenity and gratitude, and just that oneness, that unified expression, which again, even through mourning, pain, and grief, when you're more access to that light and that void, that it assists in the processing of the pain of the attachments we have here, which even through the pain of it, there's still grace, because there's a deeper understanding within self of holding space for yourself. And then you're just a bit better holding space for other, because you've worked through a lot of stuff. Yeah. And then you sort of like align to knowing that that's kind of how you trust it, that all the right people, places, and things keep bumping up against each other to keep helping each other to keep evolving into that. And if not, who fucking cares? Like, I don't know. Can you just have a sip of coffee or a drink of water or wine, or praise the fact that we're here having just this mysterious, totally divine, cosmic, and also earthly and like kind of gross and experience. Hi. It's getting close, my lovers. We're going to be having an eclipse in just a few hours. I wish you well, and we're going to close it down. I tend to just basically work through all the decks. Once I've intuitively worked through all the decks and all the messages come out, I can feel the energies wrapping up, and I'm ever so grateful to be able to have this joyful shared experience with you guys, if even through our phone. And yet, regardless of that, we kind of know what we're talking about. There's trees out there, there's birds, there's some amazing horses as well. There's a beautiful white horse. I'll just share it with you. Maybe that's a symbol for some of us, for this eclipse portal. Can you see? Oh, look, there's a human as well. I should be mindful of that. There's a white horse. Do you see? I'll leave it there to not intrude on people's privacy and such things. But have a good eclipse, you guys. Of course, thank you for being my internet friends. Thanks for supporting All to Love. I absolutely love and adore this community, and I'm so grateful for all of you. You know what to do. You can check in through the website, leave comments here, share the messages if you think some people in your world might benefit from the love or wisdom, or just, I don't know, the vibratories, of course, you guys, the vibratories. Let us be free. It's all like in that regard, freedom of judgment and liberation, seeing the darkness pretty clearly as well. Happy eclipse, you guys. Take after yourselves, look after yourselves and your loved ones. Stay grounded, stay present, just keep breathing, just keep swimming. What a ride. Thanks for being here, you guys. Take care. Peace out.